All right, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you. Steve Malzberg here, and joining me now, I'm very happy to say, is the Deputy Assistant to President Donald Trump, Dr. Sebastian Gorka. Hello, Doctor.
Greetings to you.
And welcome back. Always great to talk to you. I appreciate it. All right, let me start with the obvious, and I'd be remiss certainly if I did not. You know, I want to talk about Putin. We're going to get there, and how the G20 and the meeting with Trump and Putin went, and all the accomplishments. What we have had happen in the last few hours, the revelation, Donald Trump Jr. putting all the email correspondence out regarding this meeting with this female Russian attorney who either was or was not a representative of the Russian government. Is that helpful in getting this behind everybody, or getting it out there, or does it hinder the relationship between Russia and the United States further, and in what you're trying to accomplish?
No, I don't think it has any effect on relations between the two countries. I think when it comes to the obsessed fake news left-wing media, it makes no difference. They're still going to do what they do, but they're becoming more and more of an irrelevance. I think it just demonstrates the utter openness of former members of the Trump campaign. Remember, Donald Trump Jr. is a private citizen. He wasn't working for the government, isn't working for the government, and it just demonstrates how utterly transparent individuals associated with the president are today. So, you know, it's laudable. We would love to see that kind of transparency when it comes to what Hillary Clinton was doing when her husband was picking up $500,000 speaking fees when she was Secretary of State, and he was getting them from the Russian government. So I think we're just trying to show by example what it means to be transparent.
And do you think that I mean, Donald Trump Jr. is going to be called before the committees? He said he's willing to testify before the committees, notwithstanding the fact that the emails say, you know, from the guy who set this meeting up, that she says she has damaging info related to Hillary's dealings with Russia that could be helpful to your father, and that it's part of the Russian government support for your father. Notwithstanding that he was willing to release those emails and to testify, do you find them in any way troublesome at all, or do you think they will be troublesome, or his willingness and his openness proves otherwise?
Look, I don't think they'll have any significant effect on us at all. We have been in office for 25 weeks. We've revitalized NATO. We've seen the stock market break records every week. We've decreased, without putting one brick in the wall in the South, thanks to amazing people like Secretary Kelly, we've decreased illegal migration across our southern border by 73%. We're crushing ISIS. We've liberated Mosul with our Iraqi partners. So, you know, in the big scheme of things, it's an utter irrelevance. The bottom line is a woman misrepresented herself to Donald Trump Jr. She didn't have anything about any Oppo research to provide, which is standard operating procedure in a political campaign. She wanted to talk about a private agenda to do with abortion policy, to do with adoption of policy in the United States. As soon as that became clear, the meeting was ended and there were no further contact. So that's the end of the story. But you know, the lamestream media will continue to concoct and spin, but let them do it, because their viewing figures are plummeting.
Yep, I agree with you. All right, let's move on to let's talk about the ceasefire, which nobody seems to care about, which took effect Sunday, worked out by Russia and the United States, culminating in the meeting with Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, and it took effect Sunday, as I said, and here we are. I mean, I know it sounds silly, but here we are on Tuesday, and it's still in effect, and that's a huge deal, is it not?
It is absolutely monumental. If this ceasefire can be maintained, let's put it in context, okay? So thanks to the leading from behind policies, the disastrous policies of the Obama administration, the Middle East collapsed. It wasn't just ISIS in Iraq, it was Libya, it was Syria. In Syria alone, just Syria, in the last 6 years, we've seen almost 500,000 people killed, 500,000. It is essential that major nations be involved in stopping that violence. And if we can have this Russian, American, Jordanian, Israeli initiative stabilize the region. It is a godsend for everybody included, not just Christians, not just minorities, but for also the Arabs and Muslims of the region.
And I noticed you threw Israel in there. Israel is a part of this.
Absolutely. I think how important that is, that we've got Arab actors, Muslim actors, Israel, America, and Russia on board. That's how you get things done.
Okay, and let me also talk about the success in Mosul in the celebration that took place. I mean, there's still pockets of resistance, and that's going to be a natural occurrence, but the victory over ISIS.
Again, this is real news, and we're so very glad you mentioned it. This is what Americans care about. They're not interested in Russia. They don't believe the collusion, a hoax that is being spread. But when we have the second largest city in Iraq, Mosul, liberated, with the Iraqi forces in the front line, with ours assisting and advising, just think about what that means for the broader war against radical Islamic terrorism. Mosul is the city which, after the Obama administration removed the troops from Iraq in 2011, this is the city where in 2014, ISIS, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, declared the reestablishment of the caliphate, the theocratic empire of Islam. This is the epicenter of the global jihadi movement, and that caliphate has now been crushed. It's not the end of the war, but it's an incredibly significant start.
Yeah, and you're right. It is amazing that such inaction during the previous 8 years, the creation of ISIS, the inaction, letting it build, and now this victory, which is very significant. One more, the tragedy in Mississippi, just outside of Jackson, the C-130 going down, and at least 16 brave Marines killed in a training, some kind of training incident. Apparently, it just shows how, you know, you're never safe when you put the uniform on and serve our country.
Yes, those that don the cloth of the Republic, the president has the highest respect for them. You've seen the different attitude we have to the military. You saw the president with that wonderful video at the weekend when he was helping that Marine put his cover back on. This president, this administration loves our military. Our thoughts, our prayers are with the families and loved ones of those involved in this incident. But these are the people that stand on the wall, whether they're in Mesopotamia or whether they're doing training exercises here in the U.S. These are the people that ensure that you and I can sleep safely at night.
Dr. Gorka, I appreciate your time every time we speak. I value our friendship, and thank you so much, sir.
And it's very kind. God bless you and the listeners.
Take care. Dr. Sebastian Gorka, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to remind everybody to please, we have an announcement. As you probably know, Newsmax TV continues to grow. We've just expanded to an additional 25 million Americans. That's a big, big number. Newsmax TV now available on DirecTV and AT&T UVerse, bringing our total to 35 million households that could watch Newsmax TV. That means more people just like you, just exactly like you, seeking news that they can't get from any of the other major networks, have a real choice once again. Newsmax TV available on DirecTV channel 349, UVerse 1220, and FiOS 615. Also check out newsmaxtv.com. It's all listed right there, and the website newsmax.com.